Mark your calendars. January 15th is the next big day in the Ripple versus SEC saga. Rumor has it, if the SEC doesn't file a key document by then, this case could finally be over. In today's video, I'll break down exactly what this filing means and share my take on what might happen next. Spoiler, it's huge. And it ties into something even bigger, an announcement by President Trump that I believe could be a game changer for XRP. But before diving into Ripple, let's talk about something unfolding right now in another major case, Coinbase versus the SEC. Spoiler alert, it's not looking good for the SEC. Let's get into it. Folks, this case was already looking rough for the SEC, but let me show you just how disastrously it's unraveling. It's honestly both shocking and a little embarrassing. To kick things off, here's an excerpt that perfectly sums up the mess. The SEC's scattershot enforcement strategy, which targets entities actively trying to comply, completely fails to provide the due process notice required by law. It's a wild situation, and it only gets worse from here. Let's dive in. The crypto world is navigating uncharted waters, and the lack of clear direction from regulators only adds to the chaos. The SEC has offered little insight into how it views crypto assets, particularly when it comes to securities. Sure, the DAO report touches on the most obvious tokens, those that practically scream stock. But what about stablecoins, utility tokens, or even giants like Bitcoin and Ethereum? Current rules just don't align with blockchain technology, yet the SEC seems unwilling to adapt. Instead, it's silence and mixed messages create a fog of uncertainty, leaving crypto issuers and exchanges to cross their fingers and hope they don't end up in the crossfire. This is a turning point. For the first time, federal courts are standing with the crypto industry, confirming what we've been saying all along. The SEC has been regulating in bad faith. The agency has deliberately kept the rules unclear, making it impossible for the industry to comply. Why? So they can swoop in and claim this is illegal based on their own vague interpretations. It's like playing a football game where the ref keeps throwing flags without explaining the rules. Imagine being pushed back 10 yards over and over just because they feel like it. No playbook, no fair game. That's what the SEC is doing to crypto. But now, the courts are calling them out and the industry finally has the vindication it deserves. The system is broken and it's no accident. The SEC has intentionally maintained this flawed structure, giving themselves the flexibility to regulate as they see fit. But for the first time, the courts aren't just noticing, they're flat out calling the SEC out on the very issues the XRP community has been shouting about for years. For over 4 years, we've seen through this charade, and now the world is finally catching on. We've never been in a stronger position. Here's a little gem from the case that perfectly captures how things are crumbling for the SEC. It's almost comical. We properly remand to the SEC to explain itself. It should not give another poor explanation in an already long line of them. Ouch! As innovation drives forward, the SEC's outdated tactics are being exposed for what they are. The tide is turning. Stay tuned. This is just getting started. The SEC's sporadic enforcement of unclear rules against crypto companies trying to follow the law isn't just about fighting fraud. It's targeting an entire industry and flirting with an outright ban. On remand, the SEC must face this reality. Once again, the courts are calling out the SEC for doing exactly what we've been saying all along, storming into the market, declaring everything illegal, and offering zero clarity. Just deal with it, they say. But the courts aren't having it. They've called this approach insane, a blatant contradiction of the SEC's own mission. Meanwhile, fraudsters roam free, while legitimate companies like Ripple and Coinbase face the crackdown. The verdict is clear. Ripple has been vindicated, XRP has been vindicated, and the SEC, it's time they rethink their playbook. Moving forward, it seems likely that other major crypto players will follow suit. This paves the way for greater institutional adoption, signaling to big players that this technology isn't just a passing trend, it's resilient, battle-tested, and here to stay. Yes, the road has been rocky, and we shouldn't have had to endure some of the turmoil, but all of this is shaping up to be incredibly bullish for the crypto space. Now, shifting gears to the Ripple versus SEC saga. Another big filing is set for January 15th. As you know, the SEC appealed Judge Torres's decision, a decision that essentially called much of their case nonsense. The court stood firm, supporting Ripple and declaring XRP is not a security. This case continues to be one to watch, with Ripple gaining momentum and the SEC facing mounting resistance. Buckle up. The SEC says they're appealing, and while they've hinted at their focus, we haven't seen their brief yet. It's due January 15th. Some speculate the SEC might skip filing altogether and let the case fade away. I wouldn't bet on it. From where I stand, Gary Gensler hasn't exactly been the champion of rational decisions or industry progress. Expecting him to suddenly do the right thing? Let's just say I'm not holding my breath. It's looking unlikely that much will change while Gary Gensler remains at the helm of the SEC. But here's the silver lining. His tenure ends on January 20th. Once a new SEC chair steps in, the game could completely change. In fact, there's a strong chance this case gets dropped, dismissed, or settled soon after. So whatever happens on January 15th, it might not even matter. The SEC can file its brief and make its arguments, but come January 20th, all bets are off. All that work could end up in the trash. Here's what I think. Someone like Paul Atkins or another high-ranking SEC official could step in and push for a dismissal or settlement. Personally, I'm rooting for a settlement. It could be a huge win for Ripple and XRP. Let's see how it plays out. This case has been a bit of a mess, hasn't it? But surprisingly, it's provided some much-needed clarity. Honestly, after all this back and forth, it would feel like a waste if the SEC just dropped it now. A settlement, though, that could be a game changer. It would give Ripple a clear understanding of what they can and can't do, backed by an actual SEC stance. Talk about real clarity. To me, a settlement would be the ultimate bullish outcome, and the way things are unfolding, it feels like we're headed in that direction. With smart, reasonable leadership, the SEC might finally see this as the best path forward. Fingers crossed this plays out just right. It's not about stifling innovation or shutting these companies down. It's about giving them clear guidelines to operate legally and confidently in the US. That's how we create safety, boost investor trust, and ensure these companies thrive here, rather than packing up and fueling other economies overseas. Now, let's shift gears to something potentially game-changing for XRP. Rumor has it that President Trump is planning to drop crypto executive orders on day one, and here's why this could be massive for XRP. One big promise he's made, scrapping the free pass for Ethereum and Bitcoin. Trump's plan is to level the playing field for all cryptocurrencies, as his team believes Bill Hinman's infamous free pass speech caused major market confusion. If this goes through, it could completely reshape the crypto landscape, and XRP might be perfectly positioned to benefit. XRP is finally stepping onto a level playing field with other cryptocurrencies. But here's the twist. It's not just another crypto. XRP brings unparalleled utility and connections with some of the most influential players in the game. This isn't just about legality, it's about unleashing XRP's true potential to compete as it was meant to, through cutting-edge technology and a powerful network effect. The XRP community knows the tech is rock solid, and the partnerships run deep with people who matter. For the first time, XRP isn't held back. Executive orders could be the catalyst to level the field completely. This is huge. The biggest risk XRP faced was inaction, but now the momentum feels unstoppable. Buckle up, this is incredibly bullish. I didn't expect it to happen, but let's face it, President Trump is a political strategist with priorities far beyond cryptocurrency. That said, the buzz around potential executive orders on day one is incredibly bullish for the crypto industry. When you dive into what's being discussed, the focus aligns perfectly with what benefits XRP the most. It's not just about Bitcoin and Ethereum anymore. The game is shifting. Time to level the playing field and let the best technology rise to the top. For XRP, this could be the moment we've been waiting for since the beginning, the holy grail of opportunity. Alright, let's see how the chart responds to all this action. Right now, we're still in consolidation mode, coiling up like a spring. Remember, there are no magic lines in technical analysis, but what we're seeing here is a massive consolidation pattern, eerily similar to 2017, just before XRP hit its all-time high. Back then, the bull market was driven by speculation and dreams of future potential. Now, that potential is transforming into real-world utility. The question is, are we on the verge of history repeating itself? The script for cryptocurrencies could be on the brink of a major shift, and no asset stands to gain more than XRP. We're in a phase of consolidation, building momentum, and gearing up for what could be a game-changing breakout. The future has never looked brighter for XRP. Thanks for tuning in. Stick around, because the best is yet to come.